Have you ever wondered what separates people who live an ordinary life from those who create an extraordinary one? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's the small, conscious choices we make every single day. And that's exactly what Ankur Warikoo's best-selling book, Do Epic Shit, is all about. Welcome to PageWise. Today we're exploring this game-changing book, a collection of life lessons, personal stories, and practical wisdom that has inspired millions to live intentionally and boldly. Ankur Warikoo, one of India's most popular entrepreneurs and content creators, is known for his candid, brutally honest, and practical advice on life, career, money, and relationships. Unlike heavy self-help manuals filled with jargon, Do Epic Shit offers bite-sized reflections and real-life lessons that are simple yet powerful enough to shift your perspective. At its core, Warikoo reminds us that extraordinary lives are not accidents of destiny. They are built step by step through conscious decisions, consistent actions, and smart choices. The book is divided into 6 key parts: success and failure, habits, awareness, entrepreneurship, money, and relationships, each teaching us how to see life from a new perspective and move closer to living an extraordinary journey. Part 1. Success and failure. When we hear the word success, our minds usually jump to money, fame, or status. We picture luxury cars, high-paying jobs, or big houses as symbols of achievement. But Ankur Warikoo challenges this definition. He reminds us that true success has little to do with external applause and everything to do with inner satisfaction. Success is waking up every morning feeling at peace with the choices you've made, knowing that your life aligns with your values and purpose. A fat paycheck or social recognition means very little if deep inside you feel restless or unhappy. On the other side of the coin, failure is often seen as the enemy of success, but Warikoo flips that idea too. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's an inseparable part of it. Every failure acts like a compass, showing you what not to do, where to improve, and how to become stronger. Warikoo speaks from personal experience. He dropped out his PhD, saw multiple startups collapse, and even lost money on poor investments. Yet, instead of playing the blame game, he took ownership of every misstep, extracted lessons, and turned them into fuel for growth. His journey shows us that failure doesn't define you unless you stop trying. The real differentiator is not talent, but commitment. Plenty of talented people quit halfway, but those who persist, showing up day after day, taking small, consistent steps, are the ones who eventually win. In Warikoo's words, action creates luck. Opportunities come to those who move, not to those who wait. Part 2. Habits. Think about it. Our lives are not shaped by rare, life-changing moments, but by the tiny routines we follow every single day. Habits are like invisible architects, quietly designing our future. If you procrastinate daily, you don't just delay tasks. You slowly shape yourself into a procrastinator. But if you read daily, exercise regularly, or practice gratitude every morning, you begin to build the identity of a learner, a healthier person, a happier soul. That's why Warikoo insists that habits are not just what you do, they are who you become. The beauty of habits is that they don't have to start big. In fact, Warikoo advises starting small, so small that it feels almost effortless. Instead of forcing yourself into a 1-hour workout, start with 5 minutes of stretching. Instead of finishing a whole book, read just 2 pages a day. Over time, these micro-actions compound into extraordinary results. He also introduces a powerful technique called habit stacking, linking a new habit to something you already do. For example, if you drink tea every morning, pair it with writing a quick gratitude note or planning your day. This makes new habits stick without overwhelming you. And here's a crucial reminder. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. But discipline and consistency, they're the true engines of change. Warikoo himself practices a morning routine of reading, planning, exercising, and reflecting. Even dedicating just 15 to 20 minutes daily transformed his productivity and gave him clarity and focus. The message is simple but powerful. Choose your habits wisely, make them part of your identity, and stay consistent. Over time, your daily actions will shape an extraordinary life that talent or luck alone can never build. Part 3. Awareness. Imagine driving a car at full speed, but with your windshield completely fogged up. That's life without awareness. You might be moving, but you don't really know where you're going, and chances are you'll crash. Warikoo explains that awareness is the ability to pause, reflect, and truly understand both yourself and your surroundings. It's not just about knowing your strengths and weaknesses, but also recognizing how your thoughts, emotions, and environment influence your decisions. Self-awareness means facing yourself with honesty. What am I naturally good at? Where do I struggle? Which patterns keep holding me back? Instead of wasting energy on things you're not built for, awareness helps you focus on your strengths and grow intentionally. But Warikoo reminds us that awareness alone is not enough. It has to lead to action. Knowing you procrastinate but doing nothing about it is wasted awareness. The magic happens when awareness and action go hand in hand. There's also environmental awareness, understanding the people and circumstances around you. Which relationships push you forward? Which ones drain you? Which opportunities are worth pursuing? And which distractions should you avoid? To build this awareness, Warikoo suggests journaling, meditation, and daily reflection. Simple questions like, am I moving closer to my long-term goals? Or, does this decision truly serve me? Can bring clarity in moments of doubt. With awareness, you stop reacting blindly and start making intentional, smarter choices. And when awareness guides your actions, failure becomes feedback, stress reduces, and your journey becomes more meaningful. Part 4, Entrepreneurship. When we hear entrepreneurship, most of us imagine starting a company, raising money, or launching a product. But Warikoo redefines it. Entrepreneurship is not a business. It's a mindset. It's about ownership, courage, and problem solving. It's about not waiting for the perfect idea or the perfect time, but acting with what you have where you are. Because here's the truth. The perfect time never comes. Those who keep waiting end up watching opportunities slip away. Warikoo speaks from experience. He has been part of multiple startups, some that failed, some that succeeded. But every attempt, even the failed ones, added to his learning and sharpened his instincts. Entrepreneurship, in his eyes, is about taking risks, embracing uncertainty, and experimenting fearlessly. And while risks often bring failure, they also bring the greatest lessons. Comfort zones never create growth. Discomfort does. But perhaps the most powerful lesson here is that entrepreneurship isn't limited to CEOs or founders. You can bring an entrepreneurial mindset to your job, your studies, or even your personal projects. When you take initiative, think creatively, and act boldly, you stop being a passive participant and start becoming a value creator. And value creation is the heart of true entrepreneurship. Success, in the long run, comes not from chasing money, but from solving real problems and improving lives. That's what builds trust, resilience, and impact. So whether or not you plan to start a company, adopting an entrepreneurial mindset will always keep you ahead of the curve. Part 5, Money. The money for many of us, it's the ultimate measure of success. But Warikoo challenges this too. Money, he says, is not just about how much you earn. It's about how much freedom it gives you. True wealth isn't being able to buy expensive things. It's having the power to make choices without fear, stress, or limitation. And to achieve that, financial literacy is a must. Warikoo explains that most people don't fail because they don't earn enough. They fail because they don't manage what they earn. Impulsive spending, ignoring savings, and avoiding investments are habits that trap people in endless stress. On the other hand, disciplined saving, budgeting, and early investing create long-term stability and security. Even small amounts, invested consistently, grow exponentially thanks to compounding. His mantra is simple. Start small, start early, and stay consistent. But money management is not just about numbers. It's also about mindset. If you treat money as a tool, it empowers you. If you treat it as a master, it enslaves you. True financial wisdom lies in balancing, fulfilling your current needs, investing in your future, and also giving generously when possible. Helping others, supporting loved ones, and sharing knowledge creates an abundant mindset, one that multiplies wealth in more ways than one. The lesson is clear. Don't let money control your life. Instead, learn to control it, so it becomes a foundation of peace, confidence, and freedom. Part 6, Relationships. At the end of the day, no matter how successful, disciplined, or wealthy you are, your life's true quality depends on the people around you. Relationships are the invisible threads that give life meaning. Warikoo reminds us that strong, nurturing relationships are not built by accident. They require conscious effort, empathy, and time. The wrong relationships can drain you, distract you, and pull you away from your potential. But the right ones give you strength, inspiration, and clarity. That's why Warikoo emphasizes choosing your circle wisely. Keep people around you who encourage you, challenge you honestly, and align with your values. Communication is key here, learning to express yourself openly and respectfully while also listening with empathy. And just as important are healthy boundaries. Protecting your energy and priorities doesn't mean you care less. It means you care enough to sustain yourself. Relationships, Warikoo says, should never be seen as transactions. They are investments, built through trust, kindness, and consistency. Small gestures, genuine support, and quality time create bonds that last a lifetime. And the stronger your relationships, the more resilient and joyful your journey becomes. In the end, success without meaningful relationships is empty. But when you combine growth with love, support, and connection, life becomes truly extraordinary. Conclusion. So, what's the real secret to living an extraordinary life? As Warikoo shows us in Do Epic Shit, it isn't luck, talent, or some hidden formula reserved for a chosen few. It's about small, conscious choices, the habits you build, the awareness you cultivate, the way you handle failure, the courage you bring to challenges, the wisdom with which you manage money, and the care you invest in your relationships. Every part of this book is like a gentle nudge, reminding us that greatness is not an overnight miracle. It's a slow, steady climb, built one decision at a time. You don't need to transform your life in a single day. You just need to start with one habit, one step of awareness, one act of courage, one conversation that matters. Warikoo's own journey, filled with failures, risks, experiments, and lessons, proves that extraordinary lives are not accidents. They're created by ordinary people who refuse to settle for mediocrity, who show up every day with consistency and intention. And that's the beauty of Do Epic Shit. It's not just a book you read once and put away. It's a companion, something you can revisit whenever you feel stuck, lost, or uninspired. Because at its core, it asks you one simple but life-changing question. Are you willing to live consciously, act boldly, and create your own version of an extraordinary life? The choice, as Warikoo reminds us, is always yours.